You're scrolling job postings at 2 a.m., finally ready to apply for that dream position. Your resume is polished, your cover letter is perfect, and you've got the qualifications. Your cursor hovers over submit, and then you close the tab. I'll do it tomorrow when I'm more prepared, you tell yourself. Tomorrow comes, and the position is filled. Or maybe it's the gym membership you paid for but never use. The relationship you pushed away right when it was getting good. The business idea that's been almost ready to launch for 3 years. If you've ever stood at the edge of success and somehow found a way to step back, you're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're definitely not alone. Today, we're diving into the psychology of self-sabotage, why your brain does this, and most importantly, how to stop getting in your own way. But first, let's see if you recognize yourself in this pattern. Self-sabotage is when you actively work against your own goals and values, like having one foot on the gas and one on the brake. And here's the wild part. It's not a character flaw. It's actually your brain trying to protect you. Dr. Judy Ho, clinical psychologist and author of Stop Self-Sabotage, explains that our brains are wired with something called a negativity bias. This ancient survival mechanism made our ancestors hyper-aware of threats, which kept them alive. But in modern life, this same system treats your job interview like a lion attack. Research from psychologist Dr. Hendricks shows we all have what he calls an upper limit problem. Essentially, we have an internal thermostat for how much success, love, or happiness we think we deserve. When we exceed that limit, even slightly, our unconscious mind hits the panic button and finds creative ways to bring us back down to our normal. Think of it like this. If you grew up in a house where the temperature was always set to 68 degrees, and suddenly someone cranks it to 85, you'd feel uncomfortable and want to adjust it back. That's what happens with success. Your comfort zone isn't about comfort at all. It's about familiarity. Question 1. Let's pause here. On a scale of 1 to 5, how often do you find yourself backing out of opportunities right when things start going well? Keep that number in mind. We'll come back to your total score later.
So what's actually happening in your brain when you self-sabotage? There are 3 key players. Your amygdala, the alarm system, your prefrontal cortex, the logical planner, and your basal ganglia, the habit keeper. When you're about to do something new or risky, like asking for a raise or going on that first date, your amygdala scans for danger. Here's where it gets interesting. Neuroscientist Dr. Joseph Ledoux discovered that emotional information reaches the amygdala before it reaches the logical part of your brain. That's why you feel the fear before you can talk yourself through it. Your body is already in defense mode, pumping out cortisol and adrenaline before your rational mind even gets the memo. This is why you might intellectually know that sending that email won't kill you, but your body acts like it might. Your palms sweat, your heart races, and suddenly checking Instagram seems really important. Common self-sabotage patterns. Research identifies several classic patterns. See if any sound familiar. The procrastination shield. You delay until the last possible moment, then blame any failure on lack of time rather than lack of ability. I could have done great if I'd had more time. Feels safer than I tried my best and it wasn't enough. The comparison trap. You scroll social media before starting your project, immediately feel inferior, and decide there's no point in trying because someone's already doing it better. The perfectionism prison. Nothing is ever quite ready to share. Your standards are so high that you never actually finish or launch anything. Dr. Brené Brown calls this armor we wear to protect ourselves from vulnerability. The relationship ejector seat. Things are going well, you're getting close to someone, so you pick a fight, go cold, or find a fatal flaw. Psychologist John Bowlby's attachment theory explains this as a protective mechanism developed in childhood. Question 2. How much do you criticize yourself for minor mistakes or imperfections? Add that to your first number.
Now here's the part that might blow your mind. Self-sabotage works. That's why you keep doing it. Stay with me here. Every behavior, no matter how destructive it seems, has a hidden payoff. Dr. Stephen Hayes, founder of acceptance and commitment therapy, calls these short-term mood repair strategies. They feel terrible in the long run, but in the moment, they solve a problem. What self-sabotage gives you? Safety from rejection. If you never really try, you never really fail. That job application you didn't send, you can tell yourself you would have gotten it. The relationship you ended, you can imagine it would have been perfect. You're protecting your self-image. Familiar discomfort over unknown success. Researchers studying the imposter phenomenon found that success can trigger intense anxiety because it's unfamiliar territory. Dr. Pauline Clance, who coined the term imposter syndrome, found that high achievers often feel more comfortable with struggle than accomplishment. Connection to your past identity. If you grew up in a family where nobody went to college, succeeding academically might feel like betraying your roots. If your family identity was "we're survivors, not thrivers," thriving might feel like losing connection to your people. Question 3. How uncomfortable does praise or recognition make you feel? Getting interesting, right? Keep adding.
Okay, enough about why this happens. Let's talk about how to actually stop doing it. Tool 1, the 10-minute rule. When you feel the urge to sabotage, commit to doing the thing for just 10 minutes. Not the whole project, just 10 minutes. This works because it bypasses your amygdala's alarm system. Your brain can handle 10 minutes of discomfort. Neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman explains that action often precedes motivation, not the other way around. Once you start moving, your dopamine system kicks in, and suddenly you have energy you didn't think you had. Tool 2, the compassionate observer. Dr. Kristen Neff's research on self-compassion shows that treating yourself like you treat a good friend actually increases motivation. It doesn't make you soft. When you notice self-sabotage happening, try this 3-step process. 1. Name it. I'm self-sabotaging right now. 2. Normalize it. This is what humans do when they're scared. 3. Redirect. What's one tiny step I could take anyway? This creates what psychologists call metacognition, thinking about your thinking, which gives you space between impulse and action. Now, I know some of you are thinking, okay, this sounds great in theory, but how do I actually practice this? If you want to go deeper with self-compassion exercises, we've put together a resources page in the description with some tools we recommend. One that's been really helpful is the 17 Self-Compassion Exercises Toolkit from positivepsychology.com. It includes science-based exercises specifically designed to quiet that inner critic and build a kinder relationship with yourself, which is essential for breaking self-sabotage patterns. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. But if you are not ready to heal seriously, you can consider following the 3 tools in this video. Tool 3, the Success Tolerance Builder. Remember that upper limit problem? You can gradually increase your tolerance for success. After something good happens, instead of immediately finding a crisis, pause and say out loud, I'm safe even when good things happen. Dr. Hendricks suggests spending just 60 seconds really feeling positive emotions instead of rushing past them. This rewires your nervous system to recognize that success isn't dangerous.
Question 4. How often do you create problems or drama shortly after experiencing success or happiness? Almost done. Add it up. One more thing worth understanding. Your self-sabotage isn't random. From an evolutionary perspective, it makes perfect sense. Our ancestors who worried about being cast out of the tribe actually survived longer. Social exclusion meant death, so the brain developed powerful mechanisms to keep us in line with group norms. When you succeed beyond your peer group, your ancient brain interprets this as potential exile risk. Dr. Matthew Lieberman's research in social neuroscience shows that social pain activates the same brain regions as physical pain. Your brain literally treats standing out as a threat to your survival. This isn't an excuse, it's an explanation, and understanding it gives you power. Final question. How often do you dismiss your achievements or attribute success to luck rather than your abilities? Okay, add up your 5 numbers. Your total score is somewhere between 5 and 25. 5 to 11 points, low self-sabotage tendency. You occasionally get in your own way, but you've developed good awareness and recovery skills. Your challenge is helping others recognize their patterns without judgment. 12 to 18 points, moderate self-sabotage pattern. You're in the sweet spot of awareness. You recognize when you're doing it, which is half the battle. Your next step is building those 3 tools into daily practice. 19 to 25 points, high self-sabotage pattern. Your protective mechanisms are working overtime. This isn't something wrong with you. It's your nervous system trying really hard to keep you safe. You might benefit from working with a therapist who specializes in self-compassion or somatic approaches. And if you're a therapist, coach, or helping professional working on clients on self-sabotage patterns, we've also linked the Positive Psychology Toolkit in the description. It contains over 500 science-based exercises, including specific self-sabotage worksheets, cognitive restructuring tools, and self-compassion practices that you can use in your practice. Here's what I want you to remember. Self-sabotage isn't a personality flaw. It's a scared part of you trying to keep you safe using outdated information. You can thank it for trying and choose differently. Drop your score in the comments. Your success doesn't require you to be perfect. It just requires you to stop treating yourself like the enemy. See you in the next one.